Hello, my little Frenchies. It's good to see you again. So having some technical issues right here, so I apologize in advance for the video quality, but this shouldn't stop me from shooting videos and providing value to you guys, to the new audience. I've been having new followers and subscribers, or whatever you name it, depending on the platform. So welcome to What the French, the channel that will teach you French in a different way, in a different approach, right? And today I want to talk to you about that different approach. So how do you approach learning a language? So this channel is all about learning French generally, but most importantly about how to learn a language and in general any skill, right? But this video will be focused on language learning, especially French. So first I want to talk about consistency, how it compounds, right? And we can take an analogy from fitness, for example. For fitness, like let's say you want to lose weight or burn fat or build muscle because you're skinny, and so there's a lot of information. Information resources are infinite, are like endless. We live in an era where you can find any information. So point is, you know exactly what to do. You know exactly what kind of exercise you should do, what kind of training program you should follow, what kind of diet you should follow. So you know what to do. Now, you might be the type of person, and I've been there, to always wait for that moment, that motivation, that moment when you feel like, okay, I'm motivated, let's do this. Well, that's a total bunch of crap. Okay, you will never be motivated. So what makes the difference, what builds consistency, is discipline. Discipline, to sum it up, is when you do the things you know you have to do, especially when you don't want to do them. All right, and this can apply to any skill, actually. And today we're talking about learning a language, right? But this can apply to any aspect of your life, right? So let's say you want to learn French, right? You know what you have to do. You know you have to go through the basics of conjugation and grammar and build your way up to an intermediate level, like a level B1 and B2, all right, like intermediate and advanced intermediate, to be able to be understood and to be able to express yourself, to ask for information in the street, or to be able to have a nice talk, conversation, using the right words. And then you work your way even higher, even to the advanced level, where you can actually read really technical books and technical magazines and reviews and scientific articles, or be able to use more elaborate vocabulary and expressions and everything. So I'm pretty sure you know all that. Now, what is stopping you from doing the work, from finding that motivation, right? It all comes down to discipline. Discipline is that magic thing. You wake up in the morning, you don't want to learn French. You don't want to learn French. That's not your main priority, right? But it is scheduled. When you follow a program, you have a schedule. That's why they call it schedule. So now you have to find the discipline to do what's on the schedule. All right. The easy way is to do nothing. Stay in the couch, stay in bed, and do nothing. That's easy, right? But if you want to do something about it, to be proud of yourself, to get that very powerful feeling of achievement, like you set a goal, You planned it, scheduled it, you stick to it, and then you achieve it. That's how it is. So discipline, again, is doing what you know you have to do, especially when you don't want to do it. And most of the time you won't want to do it. That's how it is. That's life. There's never going to be a Monday morning or any morning you will wake up feeling highly motivated to do something about your goals, because the brain is conditioned for the comfort zone, which you want to escape from. This is a very dangerous zone. You always want to strive for more. You always want to strive for new skills, new knowledge, new achievements in your life, right? You don't want to settle at any point in your life. That's a very miserable life. Always want to try to do something about the things you said you were going to do and that you never did for some reason, because you never had that motivation. And maybe 1 month, 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years have passed, and you're still looking for that motivation. Let me tell you something. Let me save you some time. It will never come. You will never know if you're good at something, if you can be great at something or master a skill if you don't do. You will never know until you do, until you put in the work, right? So it is very important to understand that consistency compounds. What does that mean? Compounding means you gain momentum, right? And then you don't need that motivation you so look for every single day. You won't need that motivation because it will become of a routine, right? A lot of people say routine is not good, and I know people who are routine lovers. And the thing is, it becomes mechanic in your subconscious. The subconscious is the software, like your body is the hardware, okay? And your subconscious is programmed with all those traditions, beliefs, false beliefs, habits, and this is the one I want to stop on to talk about. Habits, right? There are good and bad habits, but the brain doesn't know if it's good or bad. As long as you teach the brain to smoke every day, or to, after work, to order food, okay, the brain is conditioned. The brain is really lazy, and so you have to control that. You have to control that aspect of your mind, which is the conditioning. It's very dangerous, and it's going to prevent you from achieving your goals, any goals you can have in life. I'm talking about learning a language, but again, it can apply to any aspect of your life. So how do you do that? You just do. Okay, Mel Robbins is, okay, now she's a motivational speaker, but she did a TED Talk when she wrote an entire book on the 5-second rule, right? And there's been studies that show that this really works. This really triggers the prefrontal cortex area of the brain, which is make a decision, be decisive, right? When you're not decisive, it's impossible to move forward in life because you can't make any decisions about the goals you want to achieve. So point is, use the 5-second rule, okay? Count backwards from 5 to 0, and at 0 you just do, okay? Instead of sitting in front of the computer and just browsing around to postpone or to try to save you some time from whatever is keeping you away from your goals, like you say, like, okay, in 5 minutes, okay, in an hour, okay, at 2 hours, and then you end up at 8 p.m. not having done shit, right? So let's say I want to record this video for you guys. I just take a deep breath, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I just hit record, and then I just stop shooting the video for you guys. It's that easy. And once you take that leap, okay, you don't know, you might have a technical issue, someone might knock on the door, there might be some noise or some, I don't know, the power might shut down or whatever, but you're doing what you said you were going to do, okay? You follow through what you said, okay? Try that one time in your life, just once. Follow through what you say. You will feel such a high, actually, a high. It's like not a drug high. It's that natural, adrenaline hype. Like, I did it. When you press stop, record, like, you did something. You did something. At the end of the day, when you go to bed and you go through your day, you're like, man, I got a new video online today. That's great, right? And it makes you want more. That's where the motivation comes from. The motivation will never come from scratch. It will come day after day, after those little tiny details you achieve every day. Let's say you want to grow a personal brand and you post once. You don't need to post 5-6 times a day. You post once, you engage a little bit, and that's one achievement. Then you record a video for YouTube, then you extract the sound, you make a podcast episode. Those are tiny details, right? But at the end of the day, there's a lot of details. When you have a list, let's say a checklist, and you go, okay, YouTube done, podcast done, Instagram done, blog done, vlog done, or whatever you do in life, okay? So if you want to go back to that fitness example I've been using, it's like, okay, so I warmed up, I did my workout, I stretched, and then I did abs for 5 minutes, if that's all you can do, 5 minutes. But it's all those little details, and this piles up, this compounds, consistency, habits. Then when you do all that for one day, you have I call that a perfect day. That's what I do. I call it a perfect day when I'm able to tick everything I've done in a day, everything I said I was going to do, and then I checked it out, and then I did. For example, for today's list, the YouTube video shooting is the last thing on my list. So I can actually, after this video is shot, check the list, and be happy with my day because I know I did what I had to do. So it's the same for French, learning French. It's like you want to do it, be consistent about it, work on your craft, work on that goal every single day. If 5 minutes per day is all you can do, well, all you can do is all you can do. So at least stick to those 5 minutes. Stick to those 5 minutes. Maybe do it while you wait for your coffee to get cold in the morning. If it's too hot, wait 5 minutes and read something in French, listen to something in French. That's why in my podcast I do very short episode, less than 1 minute. It's less than 1 minute. Now, what's your excuse? You don't tell me you don't have 1 minute to listen to a short nugget. I post daily nuggets on my podcast. I will put the direct link in the description for the podcast, and it's not even long. You don't have 60 seconds to learn something new as soon as you wake up in a different language. How cool is that? And then when you're done with that, you listen to it maybe twice, 3 times or whatever, and then you're done. You can go with your coffee. Good, right? That's a good day. And you can do that anywhere. Now you have so many ways to consume knowledge and to acquire skills. Could be a video, podcast, audiobook, blog. It could be anything. And that's why I try to provide as much value on Instagram. I have those daily flashcards that I post, and I think this is very valuable. I get a lot of love and support from all of that because it allowed people to save those content. And when you do all of this, just a little bit of each every single day, day after day week after week, month after month, it piles up. And that is such a great achievement. Can you imagine? It's like, I'm recording this, it's February 6th, right? Let's say 1 month from now, 30 days from now, okay? March 6th. So how can this go? This is just amazing, right? What the brain can do and how you can actually master, reprogram your brain. It is just amazing. So I don't know what's going to happen for you, but I'm pretty sure if you follow these little tips, consistency, discipline, like get to work, get to your desk, get on your phone, record a podcast, get on your keyboard, sit your butt down in front of the computer and just count down to 5, take a deep breath and just start. Type, be prolific, put out as much content as you can. And same for French. You want to learn, like grab the book or the podcast or the YouTube video, anything, but just do it. It's that simple. I'm not saying it's easy, it's simple. Okay, you just do. Okay, don't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect weather, the perfect situation. It's like, this will never happen. You know what you have to do on a daily basis. And let's be real, you can't learn a language by listening or watching a video like twice a week. That's never going to happen. Nothing's going to happen for you unless you plan on mastering French 20 years from now. But most people want things happen fast, right? But you have to provide the work. So watch my videos, like the playlists for grammar, basic knowledge, and listen to podcasts. I post 3 different type of content, right? So very short episode, 1 minute, and then one-on-one conversations, and then interviews with people, French people all across the world, you know, and many more content is coming. Courses are coming in the next few weeks. So really stay tuned. If you want to learn French, know how to do it. Then be aware of how you retain information. Do you retain information more like when you walk in the street, when you walk to work, and you listen to information? Could be a podcast, right? Or you more like a visual person? You like to see the other person explaining to you those French skills and knowledge? Or are you more of a reading person? You retain more information from an article on Medium or any type of blog? Or are you more like a visual with the graphics, flashcards, like on my Instagram page, for example? Like, find out, and you don't have to stick to one. You know, you can do 2 or 3 at the same time. If you can do it all, do it all. But let's say, for example, me, I have to walk 20 to 30 minutes every day to go to work and to come back from work. So right there, it's 40 to 60 minutes of listening to a podcast on Skillshare, or listen to an audiobook. For example, right now I'm reading Brendan Burchard. What's the name? High Performance Habits, and it's a great book. I love it. So technically, I don't hold the book to read it. That's impossible because it's Montreal. It's winter. It's like super cold. You can't do that in the street. But you can have the audiobook read to you. The book is actually read to you by the author of the book. This is so cool. This is such a smart idea. I love it. So stick to it. I hope you got value from that video, like about the whole process of learning any new language, any new skill. And this is what this whole channel is all about. Like, you know what, the French. Okay, you will learn French, but in a different way. I will teach you how to learn from conversation, one-on-one, so just you and I, all right? Wherever you are in the world, we can have a proper conversation. I can teach you a lot of things like I'm doing right now. Or there will be some interviews with people all across the world, like for real, all across the world. And then there will be videos about how to learn French with movies and TV shows. So there will be much more content coming up in the next weeks. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't yet, hit the link. I think it's on the left or the right or wherever this is. Just click on subscribe and hit the bell to get notified every time there is a new video on this channel. And in the meantime, keep learning. Know what's your way of learning, and keep moving forward. Keep learning. It's already February, so what have you done lately? What have you learned lately? If you're not where you want to be right now in terms of learning French, keep progressing. Keep making progress. If you have any comment, any question, hit me up, DM on Instagram, leave a comment in the section right below on the video, and I'll be happy to help you. So in the meantime, thank you very much. Thank you for the love and support I get every single day. People are coming more and more on this channel. So welcome everybody, and thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.